Now listen, I don't know you, but I think I know your situation. And correct me if I'm wrong. You want to protect your home. Yes. Your family. Yes. Your valuables. Yes. All right, follow me. I think I got just what you need right here, okay? You see this right here? This here's a 9mm to start, okay? A 9mm is a solid firearm. 2 to the chest, that man is going down 10 out of 10. However, I got this special military-grade ammunition over here. I got this here bullet. It's called a spreader. Yeah, that's what I used to call my ex. Oh, she was a real pistol, too. Let me tell you, that's why I had to move here to California. She'll never find me here. So, this bullet, when it comes out the chamber, it opens up. And when it hits, it'll leave a hole about yay big. And stupid me, I said this. I said, people survive that? Survive? Survive? Son, you don't want them to survive. You want them dead as fried chicken as far as I'm concerned. I said, I don't want anybody to die. You don't want anybody to die? You guys hear that? You hear that? He don't want anybody to die. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you know who he voted for. Look here, Tutu, you're stressing me the hell out, man. I want to help you, but you got to want to help yourself. So listen. I'm going to do everything in my power to get through this. I'm going to paint a picture for you, okay? You're home. Someone breaks in to your home. They have a gun. You have a gun. You have already told this person to leave or you will shoot. And they're not leaving. Matter of fact, they're doing the complete opposite. They're getting closer and closer and closer and closer. Now they're so close you can see the whites of their eyes. This individual is standing directly in front of you. You can see each other. This individual is prepared to do whatever it takes to leave with whatever they want, including taking your life. My question to you is, are you prepared to do the same? Are you willing to protect your family, your home, your valuables, and most importantly, yourself in this situation? What are you gonna do? First of all, bro, skid off the runway by 200 yards, and we ended up in a field. A field. A field. Are you kidding me? As hard as I work. To break stereotypes. A bunch of Mexicans ended up in a field. Yeah, that's what happened. That's how TMZ reported it. Mexicans found in field. In the movies, the pilots are always the first to know when there's an issue. And in the movies, the pilots always have the courtesy of telling the passengers. They love to hear themselves talk. They get on the mic. All right, your captain speaking here. I just want to let you know we're going to be experiencing just a little bit of rough air. If you could just fasten your seatbelts, we're going to be A-okay. All right, I'll be right here with this a minute. If it gets bumpy, you know. All right, hey, everybody, it's your captain speaking here. Somebody just had a little Mexican food here, so yeah. We're feeling a little bumpy up here. Yeah, we just had some fast food. But if you could just a reminder to keep your seatbelts fastened, we might be getting a little bit... Oh, there we go, just a little bit there. All right, I'll be back with you in just a few seconds. If the plane's going down, brace for impact. Hold on tight. We're coming in hot. Our pilot, nada. Our pilot didn't say anything until we came to like a complete stop. And then maybe like a minute later, the cockpit door opened up and he stuck his head in and he's like, "You good?" I was like, my chihuahua's in a cup holder. I am not good. It was a scary situation, you guys. But let me tell you, even though we were involved in an emergency landing and we thought we were gonna die, I'm grateful for the experience, believe it or not. I'm grateful because it reminded me how valuable life is and how quickly things can change. Every now and then we need a little reminder. We need to get shaken up a little to remind ourselves, oh my God, this is special, this is important. Enjoy it, have fun. The rest of the day after the landing, there was nothing anybody could tell me to ruin how good I felt to just be breathing and be alive. Nothing. And so that's why I'm grateful for bad moments. And I think bad moments are actually a good thing because we need balance in life. You need to have bad experiences in order to truly appreciate good experiences. Not every day can be the same. And you need to have a way to balance. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's too many bad days in a row, and that shit sucks. And that's actually what happened to me. After the near-death experience, I go home to find out that someone broke into my house. Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's why I survived, to see this shit. The only reason why you haven't heard about it until now is because the detective who's working the case told me I'm not allowed to talk about it. In California. Yeah, if the guys that broke into my house are here tonight, bravo. Bravo, that's a flex and a half. No, they broke into my house, and of course the number one question is, what did they take from your house? And what they took from me, honestly, was my peace of mind. I didn't feel safe in that house after. But if you must know, I did everything to prevent a break-in. I had, first of all, a good neighborhood. I had an alarm. I had 2 camera systems. I had a fence that surrounded the property. I thought it was good. I got video footage of the entire robbery. In 4K. Oh, that shit is crisp. I saw the guys that broke in, but I could not identify them because they were wearing masks. All I can tell you about the 2 guys that broke into my house is that they were 20 years old. I know they were 20 because when they jumped the fence and hit the ground, no pain. If that would have been like a 35-year-old with a messed up sciatica, he'd have thought twice about that fence. So they jumped the fence, they went in the backyard, and they broke the window and got in through the kitchen. They trashed my house. Okay, every drawer open, every cabinet open, everything got pulled out onto the floor so they could sift. Couches were flipped over, cushions were thrown down, and they pulled every single frame off. Was art. Mr. Iglesias, you have to understand something about these people that broke into your home. They were not looking for photos or art. They were actually looking for a safe. I said, a safe? Yes, sir, a safe. A lot of times in these homes, people will put a hole in the wall, install a safe, and then they'll hang a frame over the safe to disguise that their valuables are in there. I said, a safe? Sir, yes, a safe. But I just got this money. Did they check the mattress? Well, I don't know. Well, let's find out. So we walk into the master bedroom. I grabbed the edge of the bed, right? And I picked it up and I was like, ah, stupid! It's all here! Oh my God, these guys had no idea they were robbing somebody more ghetto than them. So at the end of it, they only got a couple of little trinkets from the drawers. And that's pretty much it. They made a mess of the house. They didn't get any of the money. I'll tell you what they did get. They got my guns. Now, I have never been open about the fact that I am, in fact, a registered gun owner. Relax, Florida. I've never been open about it because, quite frankly, it's nobody's business. Okay? However, it does pertain to the story that I'm about to share with you. I am a recent gun owner. I became a gun owner in 2020. Okay? When we were in the middle of it. Every morning watching the news, we didn't know what was going to happen. And it started to feel irresponsible not preparing myself for a worst case situation. Every morning watching the news, it felt like we were headed towards the purge. Some of you are laughing, but think about this. The purge would have taken less time. Yeah, the purge. That's how they should have woke us up every morning, at least for entertainment purposes. I'd like to thank you for your participation in the pandemic. The local time is 7:45 a.m. Fear is why I decided to buy a gun. I was afraid, and I got no problem saying that. I was scared. We didn't know what was gonna happen. It's only for protection. I don't hunt. I don't wanna hunt. I don't need to hunt. I know where there's 3 Chick-fil-A's. I'm good. I don't go out on the weekends, pull! There's no crank, 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 crank. I still own a Nintendo. I don't need that shit. Fear is the only reason why I decided to buy a gun. So next thing you know, I wound up at this sporting goods store right by my house. I walk in there, and this place is packed full of people that normally would not have been open to the idea of owning a gun. But they felt like me. They were scared. And rightfully so. I kept hearing the same conversation over and over and over. I kept hearing this. I would rather have a gun and not need it than need it and not have it. And I don't care where you're from. That makes a lot of sense. And I was not about to let politics interfere with my personal safety. So next thing you know, I got in line. I had to get a little ticket with the number, like when you're at the DMV or, meat market, pinche carnicería, right? La bodega, número 5. Yeah, I got in line. 45 minutes, I waited in line. And as soon as I get to the front, this guy comes up to the counter and he's like, "How can I help you, son?" Well, and by the way, I heard some of you chuckle, and just so we're clear, I'm not saying that all people